It's not that we're complaining about everything, we're complaining about the same shit, and the devs don't listen to us. That's the problem. It's not that every patch we complain about something new, it's the shit that we've been saying for years. For years. I don't agree with this. This is literally like surface brain mentality. This is surface brain mentality. This is stupid. This is a stupid comment. Yo guys, what's up? It's your boy TRUEDBZK back with another discussion video. In today's video, I will be showing you my reaction to Nitro's Top Players Hate This New Dragon Ball FighterZ patch video I did on stream a couple days ago. And had a pretty insightful, I would say, discussion about his video and just Dragon Ball FighterZ as a whole. But also, I will be reacting and commenting on the comment section of that video, which I had plenty of reactions and interesting things to say about that. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. This one is a bit long of a reaction, so I hope you guys will enjoy this. But before that, please hit the like and subscribe button at the end of the video if you guys enjoyed. It does wonders for the channel, helps me stay motivated to create more content like this. Also, be sure to check out my links down below in the description, are my links to my socials, including my new Discord server, the True Community. Also, my channel artist page on Twitter and TikTok, where he posts artworks and commissions, are also there. And finally are my playlists, which will provide you with more of my content. So I hope you guys enjoy this reaction video, and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy yourselves. Sayonara. Alright, so this is Nitro's video on the current state of Dragon Ball FighterZ and why top players do not like this new patch.
Good YouTube, this video is going to be about the recent Dragon Ball FighterZ patch. As you can tell from the title, it is not a patch that is received positively by the community, mostly the pro players that are currently playing. So for example, I'm just going to use him as an example because he made a recent tweet that is very understandable, but I feel like needed to be talked about. Insum says,
"Sorry to everyone who wanted to see me play in the World Tour, but I'm not competing. I don't see the point in caring if they don't. As is it right now, I have zero motivation to even turn on the game, let alone compete. I was hopeful this patch could be a step in the right direction, but I guess not. Maybe I'll keep making content for the game. Hopefully that could make the game a little more enjoyable to play, but I'm not too sure."
a lot of other players also.
Now before Nitro gets into the reasons why he, and I guess the actual top tier players, don't like Dragon Ball FighterZ, I think I've talked about this earlier in stream, but the problem with this patch is that I wouldn't mind all the shit that they added, but they refused to actually fix like the actual issues with the game, and it just made it more of what I don't like, what it's become, right? Like I said, they didn't touch barriers at all. Barriers still work exactly the same as they did at launch. You can still call your assist while being barriered. Android 17 has a counterattack to his barrier. He can combo off a defensive tool, right? Meter is an issue, right? The characters that got meter nerfed got their meter back, but meter is still an overall kind of an issue. Like every character is just building like 2-3 bars per combo, so like everybody's just dying for like even like the simplest hits. Neutral feels unga bunga because of projectile super dash on whiff and on block and shit. Fucking limit break is an atrocious mechanic. Sparking is just way stronger than it's ever been. Certain team comps are just annoying to deal with, like Baby Ginyu, fucking Vegito 17, Jiren 17, Adult Gohan GT Goku. Like, there's just like they it's just a step in the wrong direction.
Also don't like it. They think the patch is very chaotic, very disgusting to let's look at in general, right? You know, and obviously there are people that receive the patch positively, where it's just, you know, they like the changes, the character's playable, so on and so forth. But I'm gonna explain why.
Like I said, I don't think I've said this on a video, but I've definitely made a tweet about this. I said that the only people that actually enjoy this patch are the people that either don't play this game competitively or are lab monsters, that like people that actually don't play like the actual game online. They just lab shit and just like post it online. And the people that will play the game for a month and then drop it and then play something else. Those are the only people that are actually happy about this patch. The people that actually care about the game's health and where it's actually going forward do not like this patch.
It is received negatively. So the neutral in the game, right? The neutral was mostly, it wasn't really like calm in the sense, but it wasn't as chaotic as it currently is. So the neutral
Dragon Ball FighterZ neutral has always been chaotic, even in season 1. It was a lot more streamlined because characters didn't have like full screen normals and full screen specials. But the existence of Super Dash and the fact that Ki Blast works the way that they do is everybody's Ki Blast is basically a Hadouken from like Street Fighter, and like the fact that everybody has one, or majority of the cast has a Hadouken, basically a Ki Blast, is like there's a way more shit to look out for, you know. So it's like the game's neutral has always been chaotic.
Was more so jumping around, super jump, floating, stuff like that.
That too.
Typical Dragon Ball neutral. You just move around your opponent, move around their assist. But currently, especially with this recent change, neutral has become a lot more chaotic, a lot harder to control, which I have heard from a decent amount of players. Things have just been harder to deal with in general because a lot of normals now go full screen.
Yep.
A lot of the special moves now also go full screen, and a lot of the projectiles in the game are whiff cancelable. Trunks, for example, or Gogeta, we can use either one, have full screen normals. 5H from Gogeta or Trunks' 3M, now a new normal, are now all.
And guys, look at this video. Look at this video. The bot is set to mash light after blocking it, but Gogeta did a full screen 5H and he can backdash out of it. Look at this. Look at this. Now, to be fair, he's playing Trunks, who has like one of the worst 5Ls in the game. But like, look at this. Look at this shit, bro. Look at this, bro. What the fuck? He can, and Gogeta can still cancel into 5S. He can cancel into special moves. Like, bro, this shit's not okay. This shit's not okay. Trunks couldn't even punish Gogeta for doing 5H full screen, dog. It's wild. You gotta go to work. Catch you later. Alright, Dash. I appreciate you stopping by, dude. But like, niggas couldn't even punish him from doing a full screen normal, dude.
Gogeta or Trunks' 3M, now a new normal, are now all going full screen. Gogeta's Rekka is also going full screen, which is his mix-up tool, so that is obviously pretty insane. Which at some ranges he can jail with he can jail with beam, so you'd do like a beam Rekka, and that would all jail, or it would frame trap from full screen, which is obviously pretty insane. Another thing is the beam whiff cancels, right?
They didn't get rid of it.
Were all given, like all beams were given to it. So Krillin, Trunks, they all had that like last patch. But now characters like Vegito,
now he can do it.
Split finger shot, you guys all know that move, can now be canceled with the Super Dash. And it's really important to know this.
Yep.
It frame traps from full screen.
Yep.
almost full screen, not necessarily.
Yep.
Almost full screen, and it definitely frame traps from at least 50%. So
This game is fucking shit.
Incredibly important.
Dragon Ball is
considering
not in a
hard it
great
is
state.
to avoid that move in general and how low recovery he has. But the fact that he can even do it on whiff is pretty insane because it's really hard to whiff that move. But if you do whiff it, you
This is
kinda
fucking
could just
insane,
max
dude.
super dash, and if the opponent's not ready, just get hit for it.
Like, this is
which,
fucking crazy.
Again, kind of sucks. Next thing I want to move on to is the sparking. Sparking has now been changed to the fact that you can do a lot of cancels on block. So, for example,
To be fair, this string right here, his auto combo into air dash, he had already since launch. Like every character that has an auto combo or normal that puts them in the air, they can air dash afterwards. So this part of Gogeta's string is universal. This is fine. Every like a lot of characters can do this.
if I am 16, I can do EX grab 214S.
This shit is stupid. This is
8,
stupid right here.
And the EX grab is 6 frames. So basically, you get an infinite block string from sparking when you're 16.
Technically not infinite because you're spending meter on this, but you know, it's the mind games behind it.
But I don't even think that's
Like, look at that chip
part.
damage, dude.
The most broken part is his damage output. His damage output is now incredibly higher because of the new.
This is off a command grab, by the way.
And the new cancels that he has, because off of command grab he can do at least 90 to 100% depending on what kind of super he routes into, and it's like, yeah, Graveler doing that much damage is
Yep,
kind of
that's off a
insane.
command grab, by the way.
I think it is. We can also move on to look at Gogeta, Red Gogeta, of course, and see what he's doing on block against people, which he is doing a lot of cancels, which is
just
crazy.
mashing
Goku
plus
just
frames.
dude's whole moveset, and he's still not done canceling. Like, that's how crazy it is.
Now you're dead.
I do also want to talk about the team fusions. Team fusions is incredibly, like, broken again. Like, it's back on the field again, basically. It's like the rebirth of Yasha team. And the reason I say that is because both fusions, aka Vegito and Gogeta, got buffed again, which they were already hard to deal with before. But now I believe, and of course other people also believe, that this team is stronger than it was originally when it was originally found out by Yasha.
Yep,
So
it's stronger now.
That's pretty insane to obviously say. But if you look at the clips that I'm about to show you, where Vegito throws his projectile and either gets a 50-50 or he's about to get 2H, but 78 of course comes to save the day like he usually does. So things like that, I think, are a big reason, a big thing to talk about. Another thing we should talk about is the strength level of Vegito. Vegito's strength level has probably gone up to Prime Lab Coast level, in my opinion.
I don't agree with this. I think Lab Coat 21 is probably still stronger than this form of Vegito, just because of the fact that she had a actual debuff mechanic to where your characters did significantly less damage, and she had just as many like frame traps and mix-ups that this Vegito has, right? I think the debuff is so crucial, and the fact that she could combo into it, like launch Lab Coat could combo into a debuff. Snap out your character, combo the next character, and then debuff them, right? I still think Lab Coat 21 at launch is better than this Vegito. But I think this Vegito is probably might be like the third strongest character in Fighters history, maybe. Because you do have contenders like Season 116, Season 1 Gotenks, Lab Coat, Launch GT. Vegito, this Vegito might be like top 10 strongest characters ever, but I don't think he's better than Prime Lab Coat.
Like, if you look at Vegito now has a new normal, it's 6S, and another new normal, which is 3S. 6S and 3S now combo to each other, and both stop super dash, of course, because why not?
Yep.
And that's
This is
pretty
stupid.
big because he kind of couldn't do much from full screen other than shoot you. But
Yeah.
now that he gets a combo from full screen, he is doing a lot more than shooting you. You know, like he's he's hitting you for a lot of damage. Not even talking about how his combo routing or like the way he hits you is now considerably better than before. Now it's just a lot to deal with,
Yeah.
especially behind 17A, considering how broken that assist is, and it's even more broken now considering how all the characters that are going to use it are even better than they were before. Another thing that's very important is the fact that level 1s are now invo, and that is across the board. Level 1s are 4-frame invo, and a big reason that's crazy is because Krillin and Gogeta are both going to do a 0 on block normal and going to do super, and it's going to beat your jab because it is 4.
To be fair, you can vanish cancel out of this. Supers in this game doesn't freeze the screen. So you can always vanish these if you have meter. And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, supers have always been invul in this game. I think their invul started at like, I think the average startup was like 9 frames for super attacks. So like in most cases you weren't going to be punishing them anyway. But the fact that they just made it easier to just mash super out of stuff is kind of an issue. But once again, you could always just reflect or vanish because supers don't screen freeze in this game. Or at least they don't screen freeze like completely, like in other games.
Frame info, and that on a super across the entire board is pretty big because the Clash RPS is kind of way more annoying, and not to mention that
To be all of the gameplay I've seen of this new patch, I've never seen this situation come up once. So it doesn't seem that strong of an option to do because of, like I said, vanish and reflect being in the game.
with delay tech, I don't have a clip for that, but with delay tech and you know, just mashing it in block string after reflect, it's incredibly hard to deal with because all frame 4s are just inherently hard to deal with, especially with 30 frames of wake up timing.
Like I said, reflect and vanish are a thing. The 4-frame super reversals aren't that big of a deal.
So basically, throughout all those reasons, I do understand why Enzim has come to this decision. He is now
Enzim is the best fighters player in the world,
taking it straight
in
to
my
content.
opinion.
We'll see what he does in the future. Maybe he might come around to this patch. Maybe other players might come around to this patch. If you want my personal opinion, I'm not that enthusiastic at looking at this patch, but I do think it'll be pretty interesting as a spectator game, but I don't think I could ever compete in it myself. But that's it. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little explanation I did. I want to keep trying to do more content just like this, and adios.
Yeah. So overall, I agree with Nitro. Overall, actually, what do the comments look like? Because this is probably more controversial than like most of the stuff I looked at today. This patch made you pick up cigarettes. Editing's kind of fire. It was though. I feel like it's pretty easy to understand not wanting to compete in a high-stress competitive environment where massive amounts of time traveling and money are on the line. But to me, it kind of seems like characters have been doing pretty... It seemed like the characters that have been doing pretty bad since Season 1 and Season 2 are a lot better. And some of the tried and true best characters are back at full power. I don't know if that translates to the old top tiers continuing to dominate, but I'm hoping this means we see more diversity in team comps. I'm looking forward to whatever top players feel like playing because the game is fun. It's only competitive. It's the only competitive DBZ experience we will probably ever get. I don't agree that this patch in particular is where we're gonna see more team diversity. I think the team diversity has been pretty good ever since the fusion meta got nerfed. I think a lot more people are more willing to play other characters ever since the original nerf to Gogeta and Vegito. Like, I've seen like Videl players, Krillin players, Android 16 players in tournaments. I've seen Frieza players in tournaments. I've seen Yamcha fell off hard, but like there was some Yamcha representation early on in that patch. Like, there's definitely diversity. Honestly, I would argue that this patch is gonna make the game less diverse because of how overkitted the characters are. I can make that argument that this patch is gonna make diversity less, make the game less diverse. The pro player frustration is understandable, but it's undeniable this is easily the funnest Dragon Ball Fighters has ever been, and character variety is an all-time high. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this at all. To be honest, I wake up and thank God every day they didn't cater to niggas that only have spoken down on the game for years and was gonna call it ass regardless of the patch. I don't agree with this statement at all. The people that are complaining about fighters just want what's best for the game, and for the most part, the people that I've seen complain about the game or criticize the game very heavily are things that should have been done for years. And the only reason why people are and the only reason people are fed up about people complaining about the game is that the devs don't fucking learn the goddamn lessons. How many times do we have to say nerf barriers, nerf 17A, nerf full screen lariats, nerf full screen normals, stop giving characters whiffable specials in neutral? How many times are we gonna have to say this in order for them to fucking get it? It's not that we're complaining about everything, we're complaining about the same shit, and the devs don't listen to us. That's the problem. It's not that every patch we complain about something new, it's the shit that we've been saying for years. For years! I don't agree with this. This is literally like surface brain mentality. This is surface brain mentality. This is stupid. This is a stupid comment. The game's so broken and crazy, and there's like trillion things happening on screen at the same time, like Vegito's OP. Time to go back to honest games like Marvel 3 is not honest. Marvel 3 is not honest. I know he's probably trolling here, but like, no. Nah, Marvel 3 is not honest. It's not. This is about the video. Meanwhile, Enzim is streaming this game every day for hours. Enzim said Enzim said that he's probably going to continue doing content for the game and not competing. This is a non-comment. Yeah, he literally said that. If you don't have any pro players, your game slowly dies because casuals come and go. It's pro players who sponsor your game and keep the hype of your game alive. That's why Street Fighter has always been on top representative. Pro players represent health of the game. Tournaments are free advertisement to get others to play the game. When big events happen and people see pro players doing high level stuff, it motivates casuals to get better as well. Example, you saw Third Strike come back with Ken at finals, you immediately got hyped and wanted to try that. I feel like they were trying to go with the ultimate MVC3 thing, but time will tell how it works. I somewhat agree with this, but not. I like half agree. I think having a strong competitive scene for fighting games is a benefit, but I think overall patches should be balanced around competitive play, but there should be fun changes in patches. Like, I think the sparking change was a fun change, right? It wasn't something for competitive play. I just think that Fighters has gone way too far in the fun department and not what's actually what are the defined rules of Fighters and like stabilizing the game, right? They just been adding shit, just adding and not thinking about what the repercussions could be. That's my biggest issue. And then whenever something does come up and we complain about it, they don't listen and they just keep adding other shit around it. Everybody's hating on the game, but it seems more like a trend than anything. It's not. It's not. I watch a car engine post patch matches on YouTube, and they look 90% like the previous version of the game. Yeah, that's the fucking issue. That's the issue. Yeah, some characters got good moves in neutral, but those moves are given to other characters since Season 2, which is also a problem. It never broke the game. They did, though. They fundamentally changed how Fighters has been played. Yeah, they didn't technically break the game, but it fundamentally changed Fighters forever, and they keep going down this route. And the competitive players don't like it. So like, this is a non-comment. This comment's stupid. Yeah, almost all the characters got some new combo routes and damage overall, but in the end, it's still a 2 to 3 touch game. Been like that since Season 1. That's technically true. But in Season 1 and Season 2, you had to be way more particular about how you built your combos. And now that the damage ceiling is so high, you can basically do any combo in it 2 touches. Whereas in the other versions of the game, Season 1 and Season 2 especially, in order to 2-touch, you had to properly string your combos together. Not that it was hard to do combos, but, you know, most characters would, like, if you want to do a 2L starter, like, you would do, like, 2L into medium buttons so it scales better. Now, you can just do 2L into auto combo, and then still get 50% damage in 2-touch. Like, the damage ceiling is way too high for, like, non-execution. Right? So, like, technically this is true, right? The game has always been a 2 to 3 touch game, but the execution and the damage ceiling is the issue. I think you guys are just bored and disappointed because you were waiting for something else. Yeah, we wanted them to fix the shit that we've been saying for years. Yes. But the mass dooming about the game is vastly exaggerated. It's not. You just don't understand the game. And at least they finally nerfed Lab Coat 21 for real. True, but they made Vegito the best character in the game in the process, and brought back Team Fusions again, and Nappa is still top 5. S. Broly is a battery character now. Barriers still exist. C assists are still strong. Like, the game is still the fucking same. I love this going around the Lythera viewer patch. LK was so right for dropping the game. Yeah. Yeah, but then he went to Guilty Gear Strive, so, like, I don't know if that was that much better. 100% agree that this patch is too wacky, but some of the changes are really interesting, such as giving Android 18 OTG option and a mix-up to Super Saiyan Goku. These things are nothing changes, but, you know, they're fine. They're fine. They let these characters do so much in the game, becomes less interesting as a result. I agree. Nobody really stands out. I don't even know how this works because that would make it the opposite. If every character can do anything, then it makes it less interesting because there's nothing to look forward to that's unique to the character. For example, a Jiren player from Jiren came out in Season 2. A Jiren player in Season 2 would play vastly different than a Broly player, even though they're technically a neutral strike throw character. They would play them differently. Now in the current version of Dragon Ball FighterZ, they play nearly identical, right? Broly technically can't 50-50 you, but he has the option to do a mix-up, whereas in the previous versions, he would just strike throw you into big damage. Now he can high-low you left-right for big damage, and Jiren can do the exact same thing as well. Both of them have counters now that breaks assists and normal and ki blasts. And like, they both have insane buttons. So it's like, playing Broly and Jiren is not that different, whereas when the characters first came out, they played vastly different. Takes away skill expression and replaces it with idiotic spam fest. It's like if Tekken did the exact same thing. I don't know about Tekken, but this is kind of true. This is true. It's definitely spam, but then again, most of said spam is just people labbing and giving themselves full bar and last man standing. So at that point, you don't really care. And they didn't neuter the entire game. I'm tired of people pretending like they did because they saw a new combo. That's a bit too crazy. It's not that the fact that the characters are doing combos. It's the psychology behind these changes. That's what people don't like. I'm so sick of people saying like, oh, they saw a Twitter clip of fighters and they're saying they're ruining the game. That's not what we're saying. We're saying the motivation and the thought behind these changes are the problem, not the actual thing itself. And Enzim seems to not completely doom over the patch in his last stream. He actually kind of like it in some elements. Yeah, but he's not going to play it competitively, and that's what he said. Like, you can have fun with the game, but don't like it competitively. Like, it's fine. That both can be true. I wish the neutral wasn't so chaotic, but this patch has made so many old characters viable, and seeing this new variety and creativity with special cancels is something I'm looking forward to. And one thing about competitive scene I hated was that you'd see very similar character selections, but now sees more character will get some love. That's not true, because once the patch settles down, like in a month or two, there's gonna be a defined top 10, and then you're gonna only see those characters again. The people that want to see more variety in fighting games don't understand that the fundamental aspects of a fighting game is that no character is balanced. And so there's gonna be a top 10, there's gonna be a top 5. And whatever those characters are, you're going to be seeing them regardless of who they are, right? So you're gonna be saying, oh yeah, there's gonna be more character diversity, but guess what? Once the meta settles down and we figure out who is actually the best, those are the only characters you're going to be seeing. Because guess what? This happened a couple patches ago, and people were like, "Oh, this." I'm referring to the Vegito, the patch that made the fusion team so good. They were like, "This patch is so good for the game. It's gonna add so much variety to the game." And then a month or two later, Yasha found out the fusion team, and that was the only team you saw. So it doesn't matter how many characters they buff overall, because there's going to be a defined top 10, top 5, whatever, and that's the shit that you're going to see. And I would argue, like I said before, there was more team diversity in the last patch than in this patch. Now, to be fair, this patch is still new, so I can't confirm that, but the people that are saying there was no team diversity in this last patch is actually fucking insane. I think I'll read like a couple more comments, and then I'm gonna watch Max's review of the Marvel collection, and then we'll get into Devil May Cry. I wish neutral wasn't so chaotic, but this patch has made... Oh yeah, I reread that. Imagine my situation, being a new player that started the game in the Gogeta 4 era. Every single online match was broken DLCs and getting completely outplayed by better tools from far better characters. And each and every patch was just getting worse, and then lab code arrives and made it worse. And new patch, they buffed fusions again. When you think it hits rock bottom and they pick up Gurren Lagann drill and drill it at full speed for a new low. Even this game was still in Game Pass, I would have dropped it anyway. Yeah, I can see that perspective. Okay. Thank you for the top player perspective. I found the patch fun to lab myself. Keyword here, fun to lab. But still feeling out the actual gameplay. While I don't care much for how neutral is played now, I don't mind it being a killing game. That's fair. Like I said before, one of the biggest complaints about early Dragon Ball is that it had a long to kill duration, and like players would matches would go on forever because most players just wouldn't die. So I don't mind it. I should say, like, I don't mind the overall damage ceiling being higher. I just don't like the execution of it. I think I don't like the execution of it. Let's see. I like to point out that other than a handful of characters like a Dokkan, Fat Boo, all level 1s can be vanished post Super Flash. True, I brought this up. You can cancel the startup of any normal you're doing in the Vanish, which I don't believe was a thing until they made... No, this was definitely a thing. This was definitely a thing. So there's a way to deal with them, but you're trading bar for a bar, basically. Game's not lore accurate. This is definitely a casual player. Coach Steve saying he's good on the game because of the chaos is crazy. Bro, your team was Bardock, Jiren, Z Broly. Yeah. The most, like, straightforward team in the game. What do you mean? You're telling... Bro, if you're having trouble with Bardock, Jiren, Z Broly at this point of the game, you're just bad. I'm sorry, bro. Nah, bro. You would have had a point if you said, like, Bardock, Jiren, Gogeta 4, or, like, Vegito. Because I think he even played that team at one point. Like, he played Bardock, Jiren, Vegito. Like, you would have a point there, but Bardock and Z Broly at this point in the game? Nah, bro. Stop the cap, bro. Sit down. Top players hate the patch because there were always... Wait, what? Top players hate the patch because they were always trash, needed S-tier spam characters, now every character is viable. Stay mad. Yeah, this guy's a fucking moron. He's an idiot. He's a dumbass. He's a dumbass. I'm not even gonna respond. That's just factually untrue. But okay. I don't think I've ever been part of a bigger group of whiners than the FGC. That's fair. That's fair. No, to be fair, I think shooters and MOBA players complain about the games more than fighting game players. The game is fun. It's fun again. Nothing wrong with the in-sim cap and still playing. Game can be bad and fun. Plus, I don't know how you tune in. How in tune you are with me, but I don't play. But I only play with friends and local. Yeah, you basically said the same. As someone who has no dedication to play the game, I left first season. My opinion is totally important. I don't know who said that. Everyone complain about getting pissy about dying in 2 touches. Plenty of games are like that. There's an option in every patch to avoid dying to this stuff. It's called blocking. Yeah, but try blocking a 50-50 from Vegito or Jiren and then you die. And their neutral is fucking obnoxious. It's not the fact that the characters are two-touching you. It's how they're doing it. That's the issue. I promise you, Marvel 3, if it came out today, people would not like Marvel 3 outside of the characters. Like, I promise you that. I promise you that. Fighters has only been out for 6 years, not 10. Oh yeah, I'm only gonna read like 2 or 3 more. Frankly, if people don't care for this patch, it highlights how bad you are and afraid of changes make you. If anything, this patch makes the game more friendly to the lore and mechanics of the Dragon Ball universe. This is so fucking stupid. This is so dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. The game becomes more fun equals players hate it. That's not true. I wish NRS could make a crazy update to MK1 like this. It will make the game fun for the first time. I don't know anything about NRS, so I won't make a comment on that. The game is beyond salvation. The only fix I can even think is that the players as a community decide which old patch to play. That's not gonna happen. I don't think there's any fighting game that even does this. Enzem has not. He said there are certain aspects that are fun, but he overall dislikes the mindset behind the patch. People just don't seem to understand that you can find something fun about something but still think it's bad. Like I don't understand how people don't get this concept. What's funny is that people that played MVC don't like Dragon Ball either. What the fuck? Top players just said they can't exploit something unknown limited behind a specific shell. Yes they can. You can still use it in this patch. You're a fucking moron. Why do you think the fusions meta existed? Why do you think the fusions meta existed? Like I said, at the time, players even said that this patch will add more diversity to the game, and that the game was gonna and that players are going to be playing more characters because everybody got buffed. And guess what the fuck happened? They played a very specific shell and whooped everyone's ass with it. What do you think is gonna happen with this meta? They're gonna play Fusion 17, they're gonna play Nappa fucking Baby, or play Baby Ginyu, and just roll every other team. This is stupid. This is a dumbass point. This is a dumbass point. This happens in every meta. People bitching about this game pretending MVC3 doesn't exist. MVC3 requires execution in order for you to do the good shit. Inputs are harder, the buffer system isn't as easy, character movement is way more varied and very matchup dependent. This is a dumbass point. People that say this don't understand Marvel or Dragon Ball. This is a dumbass point. Alright, I made it to the end of the comments. Yeah, everybody else making this dumbass arguments that don't understand Dragon Ball. This is just dumbass comments. It's stupid. Alright.